I will be talking about completely random stuff because I just want to be able to listen to this in a little bit and play back the audio again for myself. Let's see. Not bad, all right. Hello. Ooh, wow. Sorry, I'm trying stuff out as we speak. So I have to slow that down. I hope you're doing well. Let me know if you can hear me bad or awful or good. I don't know. Like I said, I was just anticipating no one being here and then recording it, kind of watching myself in hindsight as a recording, but I hope everything's going good. And ooh, one of my high yellows or high whites are out. I want to get that real quick. Right here. In fact, I'm debating if I should pull them out because I have that other bin. I have a lot of projects going on, and again, probably going to be prattling on about random things because I was not planning on any kind of talk to the audience. So let me see. I just always like to see how many I have. One here, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight out right now that at least I can see. And I want to mess with this lighting actually. This is another reason I wanted to do this. All right, yeah, that's not that bad if I can. My phone is also orientated upside down right now, so I'm reading like the live chat and seeing this in reverse, so it may take me a minute to see comments. Yeah, I'm try again if I move it. In fact, I will try to do this right now because I did. My issue is I referenced this as centered, so thank you for pointing that out to me because I need to be a little more aware of that. But I can't move it back much more because it's right along there. So what I want to do, I apologize because this is going to be shaky for a second as I move that up a little. No, don't do that. All right. The zoom when on YouTube is incredible. Like if I do what would be one little increment on my phone, it just shoots right in. All right. Yeah, I apologize. And again, that's exactly why I kind of wanted to do this to hopefully remedy as many of these issues as I could now, as opposed to in the middle of a live stream, an actual planned live stream where I'm supposed to be doing other stuff. Let's see. In fact, that may be something I'll have to work on a little bit. But that's why God invented extension cords. Okay. So yeah, these are my zebras. And I have been talking with Chance at Isopod Geeks, and we're doing a little zebra project. And actually, today we're talking about trying to get together to do that. I don't want to talk about it too much because I want to at least give him the chance to kind of decide how we go about revealing that. Sorry, I get so fascinated looking at these guys, and I'm also trying to check the chat, trying to be aware of too many things. I'm trying to also kind of get in the habit of, instead of looking at things myself, looking through the actual chat. Oh, go get them. Do you do any kind of unboxing? I know I wanted to actually kind of ask you because I only know about what ASMR is at the vaguest sense, vaguely what it is, and I'm just ignorant to it and wanted to ask you about that. But I was curious if you do any unboxings or anything like that on your channel, but I know at least from the title and from what I saw in the one video you have, that the channel did not seem to be isopod related or anything. But I'm not I don't dive into things that I don't need to because when I do, I tend to try to absorb all the information on something. And I think it would be nice. It's very tricky. Like when you have more niched channels, I know certain people don't appreciate that. And I understand that. I don't say it's right or wrong. They come to, whatever, in your case, an ASMR channel for ASMR. And, I kind of go back and forth whether I have a gaming channel or in this case a nature channel talking about things like being a father or my life, like when I do vlogs, because I know some people are here to only hear about isopods and dirt and leaves and stuff. And again, I try it's once you start accommodating people like that, it creates a little bit more work for you also. But I also encourage you to explore it, maybe even like another separate side channel, because stuff like that. Yeah, you'll hear me marveling some of my videos about the fact that, man, I get so excited getting dirt and leaves and bugs in the mail. And in fact, I'm going to do it in a moment, but I did not normally. I open my bins and I do this for two main reasons. One is because I just love the fact that I'm inside and I get the smell of out on my walks, that dirt feeling, the moisture, the rotting leaves, all that. I love that smell, and getting a whiff of it as soon as you open that bin is awesome. But it also, like a couple times I had mold, and so I kind of laughed at myself because I didn't get that nice whiff. I realized I had a mold problem. And again, that's good because then I had to get that and take care of that in my bin. So I wasn't aware of it before that, but I love that. Yeah, we're good. I know I had a piece of shrimp in there the other day. I found out there's actually, so this piece of wood, I don't ever spray under it. I will water around it, and this is actually the moist side on this side. So I have right where this kind of little guy is. I don't know if you can see this guy very well in there, but you may see this little green moss I have stuck through, and I drip water here on the so that even though this is the dry side and I don't water under there, the water does get through to there just to have a little moist side on the top of that. I try to be a little creative like that when I can. Trying to read that comment. Oh, I missed it. Oh, nice. I appreciate that. Thank you. Again, I apologize. I'm trying to read it upside down and like I kind of look up and catch it. One of the things I'm going to do actually is get I don't know what, like I have a couple old devices and I'm just going to kind of keep it kind of here with the chat so I can see it. Or maybe not there on the camera, but something where at least I'll have it more inside of my visual. I'm very I I have hyper focus, so I'm very visually orientated, like which is why I love isopods because they're even in their minor movements. I'm just fascinated that they'll be inactive and then their movement catches me in one spot. And it's again more so in these bins, my more active bins. I like that there's always something going on. I don't want to mess around with these guys too much because I wasn't planning on it, but I want to pull out some of my other bins to see how they look on the camera. See again if I need to start orientating things a little bit differently. So I'm going to put these guys away, even though I don't want to. Oh, there you are. Yep. I do want to, and I'm going to. In fact, so part of why I'm doing this is doing the live stream to put bins together. Part of the reason I want to do that is to be able to more efficiently start focusing on these guys, my zebras, because as you may have just seen, I have I not a wide variety in terms of I don't have a lot of what I have, but I have chocolates, champagnes, high whites, and things like that. And I want to be able to start to isolate them and start to breed those guys more true. So let's move this really quick. Boo, boo, boo. All right. Ooh, I know what we'll do. Yes. I hope this will come out good, but let's see, because I have been having trouble with this Zoom. So these are my wild card. Yeah, shoot right in there. Oh, that's better. I'll try one more. Oh, that's not that bad, actually. Let's see. So these are my wild caught Porcelio spinicornis, and I've been seeing, so I hope this is going to be good because of the Mankai. Let's see. I try to do a little bit brief with or slow on these. I know the temperature and the light can be kind of obviously a shock. Let's see. It terrified me seeing all these Mankai at first. There's a couple here. Because I have a dwarf white problem in one bin, which is my clowns. And here's, no, that's not. That looks like someone molted there. And, oh, you can't really see well. There's a little guy on this leaf. I'm curious if that, no. And normally after I water, in fact, yeah, there's one right coming out right here. Another here. I can't see on the camera at all because I'm looking, so I apologize if it's not clear or if I'm actually in the way of myself. Another guy right here. He is neatly camouflaged. Another Mankai right here. And man, I hope my head wasn't in the way of that. I'm trying to see. Oops. See, I need to pay a little bit more attention to that. But my point is, yeah, Mankai explosion in here, and I'm incredibly happy. One thing I'm going to need to do with this bin is try to make sure I don't have any. No, that was that one. Oniscus osalis in here. I do struggle with identifying them initially, and I haven't done a deep dive pulling these guys apart. Is there a focus? Yeah, I don't know if that helps at all or not. All right. Sorry about that. I'm just seeing now. My goal is to eventually, yes. I don't want to make a job out of this because this is something I got into it because I got into it because of my African fat-tailed gecko and her bioactive and stumbled down the bioactive thing, which led me to isopods. But the short answer is yes. I want to get to the point where I am comfortable breeding them out, um, making sure yeah. So the short answer is yes. I'm just not there yet. In fact, I'm only about 6 or 7 months in. Like this wild caught colony is caught in that span. So I'm very new to this and want to make sure I'm doing things right. I'm not going to ship out guys that are unhealthy. I want to make sure lines are true when I start doing all that. So yes, that's one thing I'm very interested in doing. A lot of the people I'm talking to now, I met through Supreme Gecko, which is Wally at Supreme Gecko, and Annette and them and Crystal. They're all wonderful. I love that. But what is it, 12 Supreme Days of Christmas. And one of my goals is to be able to, at the very least, come the end of the year, donate. I do not only want to do isopods, but oh, yeah, I have some of it. Hold on one moment. So, in fact, it's right in front of my face. I'm pretty dumb. This wood right here is, and in fact, this, and this, yeah, so I think this whole bin, well, not the substrate, but the wood that you see specific, and some of these leaves are actually wild caught from where I actually harvested these guys. Now, what I want to be able to do and what I went to grab was so I have other pieces that I've been harvesting. This one I just pulled out of the oven a while ago, as it was outside. But I do want to be able to do that, and I'm going to step away again because I want to grab that. Sorry if I missed any chat or anything, but I also have this, aside from which part is it? I believe this portion here is sphagnum moss that I bought, but all the other, so the sphagnum moss bottom that you see in this corner is, I guess, terrarium moss. All the moss here out is wild harvested. I don't want to start to propagate that. I can do leaves eventually. I'm not there yet, but everything's eventual. Oh yeah, I am again. It's I can't find myself. There's a gentleman in one of the chats, Kuhn. He's actually from Poland, which is awesome because my family's from Poland. But we've just talked a couple times about, as I'm going to kind of put these guys away for a reason, about how slowing down and looking at things sometimes can just be so awesome and marvelous and change your appreciation for something. And moss, it's fascinating as it is, but when you look at it, how fine it is, especially after you missed it, it just looks so awesome. And I find myself staring at it. I gotta put you guys here. And try not to knock this box over. Oops. I really like these containers a lot. I like it a lot. Actually, I'm going to switch because those things kind of jut out. Zoom that back out in a second. If I can get one up. Nope. Work with me here. Or don't. Ah, you were right there. Come on. There we go. That'll work. I don't know how that looks. There we go. Okay. Well, thank you for that. I just saw the comment about my bins. It's I don't have a lot of money, and so that's why I like to harvest as much as I can. But for bin specific, I always want to see my guys, and it's one of those things where I can't say I splurge or anything. I try to get them. For example, the ones I bought that I have over on the side for when I do my live streams, it was buy one get one free. So I often do that, but I do try to. I don't buy what I don't want specifically. And I know I want to see my guys. So I do have some bins that have, for example, they're not as clear or the tops may not be clear. But now that, again, I say a lot of this, I'm learning as I go. And now I know I'm not going to do that anymore. I don't mind paying a 50 cents, a buck or two more for some of these bigger ones if it's what I want. It may be the bit I like these specifically because of the bin top you see. I had to kind of pull it off, which can be annoying at times because I have to pop it off to do this entirely. Otherwise, it kind of flips and hangs in the way. But I know about that and I enjoy it. This is my other Porcelio Spinicornis bin. So I pulled out some of the more what I consider vividly patterned dudes and gals. And interestingly, in fact, I want to point this out because moss. So you can kind of. I hope again. I apologize. I don't know how well it comes out on the live stream, but this portion here from to here, they've basically been destroying this moss right here. This was mossed all the way over to here, and it's a good inch from here to here, maybe a good inch. Good from here to here, half an inch. That they're just you can see slowly pulling back and destroying that moss, which is it sucks to see what the spoils of my time go away, but that's why I do it at the same time. So it's fascinating to see that over time. Very similarly, so this is wild harvested. This is wild harvested. The moss is wild harvested. The wood it's on is wild harvested. Wild harvested. Wild harvested. And the substrates again. I don't know if I'm ever going to get out of buying substrate because one thing I just really enjoy is when I buy isopods from someone, just buying a box of dirt from them. And I don't know. I would have to do so much more studying. I live in an apartment and don't have the room. So there's all those factors going into why I'm not doing my own myself, but I may. I I'm very slow to do these things myself, especially because like I say, ooh, there's in fact, I don't know again how this, if you can see this guy right here, it's coming out. They're generally on the moss here. I'm sure if I move this, I can move it. I generally don't like to unless I'm flipping the entire thing or doing more of like a health check if I think there's an issue. I don't like to flip things, but let's see. Look, oh, I hope that comes out. Where are you? There you go. Oh, look at those. That's awesome. I don't want to disturb them anymore, you guys. Oh, that was awesome. They were what, 5, 4 or 5? And that's one thing. So what I always worry about is when I flip those things, putting the things back down. I never want to pin a guy under there. So I'm happy to see the bigger one crawl out. The other ones will be fine, but I worry about that all the time. So worse, he's going to just go play around in the moss a little bit. And I could just, I mean, I could sit here, put this stream on and just sit here and watch and not say anything. And you hear me breathing like a weirdo, but I try to even be mindful of the way I breathe near the camera when I'm doing videos. Now live streams, I have to be more mindful. Oops. Kind of playing with the camera for a second. You know what? And about bins, Wally, again at Supreme Gecko, and I had I don't want to say a conversation, but an exchange of comments, a good one, where we were just talking about the differences in our bins and the fact that, having, again, different is not bad. I designed mine because, like I mentioned, I like to see them. When you have hundreds and hundreds of isopods, you may not have the time, and that may not be your intent. If your purpose is to breed, you probably want darker bins, arguably, um, to promote. Again, they generally, I don't, my zebras and these guys bang all the time, so they don't seem to mind the light. But I know some do have more of that light sensitivity, and it can actually affect their breeding. So, um, those differences in tanks, again, it could be to your benefit to have different tanks. I always say different does not mean better or worse. It just means different. So I I I, I kind of marvel, like, the I don't get to, like, when I see other tanks, they're set up. How would I say this? I'm very hesitant to what I consider disturb my tanks because I feel like they're set up. Like, in a way, I kind of set them up. As you can see, I can't necessarily move some of these without moving other pieces. It's not like I could just, as you can see in many takes, go and lift the main piece, which would probably be this, which would be resting on top. I don't set mine up that way, which again, it's, in some ways for me is a hindrance. It's not optimal, but it's something I prefer with my tanks, and I understand that. It's something at least I'm cognizant of, and in certain tanks they are a little bit more basic in regards that way, formed like my canyon giants, because I do want them to breed more healthily and more readily, because they are to supplement my I keep saying leopard, my African fat tail gecko's tanks. For a little context, I had in another lifetime, um, at one point, 4 leopard geckos, but that was when I was stationed out in California and younger and all that. So I have a tendency to just say leopard geckos without thinking. Where did he go? I'm gonna hop out after this. Oh wow, there. Oh, that is so rad. These guys are so small. I don't know if you can see. I'm gonna try to make sure my big old head's not in the way. But right where this is touching the wood, oh, there goes one. To the left and right of it are 2 little mankai. That's, oh, okay. There he goes. There's another one here. Again, it's another one of those moments where I'd say, sometimes another one here. You have to slow down and just look a little closer. Jeez. Man, that makes me happy. I don't think anyone's here anymore. So I don't think I have anything else. I'm going to go kind of watch this, see, as I say, go out and see what I see. Oh, another guy there. Dang. This may be what I go through for my next Flip It Friday. I don't know. Talking to myself. Oh, 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 oh. Let's see. I'll watch after, see if I can see this guy. Man, they are tiny. And they thank the old gods and the new that I can just tell outright they're not dwarf whites. The bane of my existence. And I don't want to hate dwarf whites.